their own topic. I talked about the comic briefly, and I have a link to the comic in another video, so make sure you check that stuff out. Run over to the channel, check out some of the things, the new videos for Tennocon, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoy what you see. So, anyways, in Tennocon, we got to see a lot of stuff. We got to go to the art panel, we get to see a lot of art, a lot of concept stuff, and there's just so much going on. One thing that I did not have any footage of, and I do want to talk about it first here because I don't want to forget, is apparently DE has been kind of working on this stalker mode. So I didn't get the chance to see it, like I said. I had a friend who took a video of it, and he showed me as well. But basically, there is a stalker mode, and I don't know how you necessarily gain access to this mode. I don't know if you're going to have to receive some kind of, like, tokens, or maybe if you were to go see Baro Katir, you could buy, like, some sort of currency so you could opt into this mode or something. But basically what happens is you get to enter this mode, and you get to invade another player's game with the stalker. Now you get to, like, kind of follow him around in your, like, smoky, invisible, you know, kind of point of view, and then when you decide, all right, now's the time to strike, you basically reveal yourself just like Stalker does, and then using Stalker's weapons and his skills, you just go crazy on whatever player or players you've invaded, and that sounds so cool. I'm sorry I don't have a video, like I said. Go check it out. I'm sure some of the other content creators, someone out there has it, so go check it out, and subscribe to those guys as well. I've met so many content creators, so many cool people at this event. They deserve your love, so go check out some of that stuff. So with that out of the way, let's get into some of the new stuff that I had seen. Now, first off, I want to talk about the Tenno party ship. So when I say party ship, think of like a mobile command center that your party, your other friends and stuff can, like, kind of ride around on. Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to work, besides maybe the biggest reveal that was unveiled at Tennocon, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But let's just say you're going to have a lot more freedom and a lot more open world. Okay, I just basically said it. So you have a lot of room to move around, and I think these ships are eventually going to play into that, where you get to maybe travel from planet to planet or travel across this vast open world, and you can do so as a party. And not to mention the fact that you can be raided, or you can do some raiding, I believe, using these ships. I'm gonna pop up another one, another look at another ship. Looks a little bit slimmer, smaller, but you've got these turrets on it. You've got, you know, your Tenno can run over and maybe man these turrets, or when you're boarded by the enemy, you know, you defend your ship, and that sounds so cool. Oh guys, this game has just gone leaps and bounds. Like, I was not expecting such a huge reveal at this, and I'm so excited. Could you imagine? A lot of games are starting to do this, like, pirate ship boarding party where you and your team are moving and doing a thing. Now there's open worlds, all these RPG aspects that are coming out. Oh, guys, I'm gonna make sure that there's a URL to the big reveal. A lot of you probably have already seen it, but the big reveal, it's about 17 minutes long, but trust me, it is so worth watching. Oh, it's fantastic. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be able to move around and go some places. But sticking with the ships, with kind of the outside in the space aspect of this, these space ninjas, the sentient ship. Sentience are sentient, so they are to a degree a ever-growing kind of like hive mind kind of mentality for the Orokin. They're these machines that basically are growing and adapting and always trying to basically destroy everything. But this is a sentient ship. Now, the way they kind of were talking about this sentient ship is, you kind of see this here on a scale. This thing is massive, and I'm talking massive. The kind of the idea, I'll get a little close up of here of this ship real quick. the idea is that this section here, whether it be this the just giant opening that maybe is in the middle of it, or maybe this large, almost mouth-looking thing opens up. But the idea is this thing is so massive, it should be able to pass over or allow something to go through the center of this ship, and and I'm assuming it's going to be like a ship. This thing could envelop a ship, or maybe even a planet. I don't know how huge some of these things are going to be, but it's going to be able to basically allow this object or whatever to pass through it, and then it is going to basically strip it of all the resources, or all the something, strip it of its salvage, I guess, and utilize that to build itself. Now that sounds very like adaptive and like ever-growing hive mind kind of like mentality, to just grow and expand and become the strongest, most incredible force, you know, in the galaxy, or whatever, in the space universe. But dude, this sounds sick. I can't wait to find out how they incorporate this into the game. But Sentience, oh my gosh. So going from Sentience, we're getting into Sentient Outpost. Now I don't know, this kind of looks almost like a ship, but I could almost see this being like a base or a command center or something like that. So it says Sentient Outpost, and it's got this very like ancient, like broken architecture kind of look to it, and it looks intimidating, and it looks really cool. But this, being a sentient, it's got to have its own awareness of itself, but at the same time, you know, it's always growing for the sake of the sentient race. So I don't know exactly what to make of this, other than let's put some Tenno on board whatever this thing is, and let's get some sweet epic battles or something going on. So we're going to look at another section of the Sentient Outpost. So it looks like there's almost this layered look to it, where there's this interior and there's this outer shell, and almost as though it's like the veins running through this giant ship, because kind of like I was saying, it's a growing, adapting machine, and it looks really interesting. I'm assuming this is going to be almost like a tile set kind of feel, where we could board this thing and run a mission on it, or do something along those lines. This next one is kind of the same idea, but this one looks a little bit more organic. I mean, it is, you know, sentient, but it's kind of got this organic look to it, like these little drapey feeler type things. I don't know if those are going to be like going to envelop some things and kind of pull them on into the ship and maybe utilize it or adapt it or do something with it. But this is apparently like another piece, and you can see kind of right pretty much in the middle, you can see that it's almost hollowed out, like there is an entrance, or there is a section that you can enter this part of the outpost for some reason. Like I said, maybe running missions on or something along those lines. Looks awesome. So that's the Sentience. That's what we know about all that. So let's get into some new stuff. But we're talking about the races of, you know, the factions and all that stuff. But here is a really, really important, here you go. Bayliss. We've all, as long as you're kind of following into the lore a little bit, and you're kind of trying to figure out the story and paying attention into Warframe, we know Orokin are this master race. They feel like they are the bee's knees. They are incredible. They think they are the royalty, but we never have ever seen any form of the sentient race other than just the structures they've left behind. Now, this is Bayliss. This is a concept, remember, but he looks very like the Greek mythology, or this Roman, you know, Caesar's type stuff. It looks very similar to that kind of feel. Like, he has his golden nails, he has his elongated arm, which is strange because his other one isn't. So I'm feeling very ancient, you know, the corrupted ancient kind of feel going on with this. So it's just, I don't know exactly what to make of it, but I'm just excited about it. And He's got the dark skin. He's got the blackened teeth. He's got the white eyes. He's got just, you can see a lot of different like religious or old mythological feel to this this Orokin, this Bayliss. You can see, you know, like I said, Greek, Roman. You can see, I believe there's like the Hindu. I don't know if the blackened teeth is a Hindu thing. I know it is somewhere in history where people or rich, wealthy people would blacken their teeth. Don't know what that's all about, but you know. And then you see the way his hair is. He's very elegant. He has a very elegant look to him, and this is just. It's hard for me to kind of describe how just excited I am for this. Just whatever lore is going to be tied to this, and whatever kind of crazy, you know, dark tunnel we're going to go down to kind of learn about the Orokin. And I'm excited because the Orokin are not having it. They are not excited about Tenno. They are not excited about the Grenier and Corpus being their own factions, and you better believe they're not excited about the Sentience doing their thing, because the Sentience are their worst enemy. So and the Tenno are pretty close to being you know, the worst as well. So I'm just excited to jump into this rabbit hole for sure. But with that said, we're going to go on to some more new stuff, new units, to be a little bit more specific. But one of those being this large Grenier. This large Grenier is wielding this gigantic chainsaw, which I would love to have at some point. And I'm sure they'll make that happen because, you know, DE, they like to make us happy, so it's pretty awesome. But here it is. This guy, you can actually, if you have not seen the comic book, I actually, like I said, I made a quick video on that. Go over there, click on the URL, and you guys can see the digital comic if you want. But keep a lookout in the comic for this guy. It looks like he is kind of a shadowy figure in the back. I believe you can kind of see, like, oh, that's we've never seen someone like that before. And I'm thinking it's this guy, this new design. I am excited about this. This looks like a fun enemy that I'm looking forward to encountering in a weird way. And then we all have kind of been hinted at because of those large sacks of whatever, or I don't know, bam, the Ghoul popping out of the ground. Look at, he's got the umbilical. Oh, that's so nasty. That thing is so nasty. But this like melee suicide bomber type unit where he's just runs at you. He just wants you dead. Now, the thing that I was thinking about leading up to this entire Tennocon, you know, convention, I was like, these guys don't really fit necessarily in our current game because they're supposed to be incubating in the ground. It's supposed to be underground, and I feel like there's not too many tile sets that would really work for this unit to kind of burst out of the ground and kind of attack you. So the only way for that to happen would be if the game went open world, and that looks like that is pretty much the idea. We are getting the Plains of Eidolon, I believe that's how it's pronounced. We are getting this giant open world with all sorts of crazy stuff. Like I said, make sure you check out the long video, the big reveal video, if you haven't already. I'm so excited about this. People were just out of their seats freaking out that this was a thing when they revealed it, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. This has literally just become the #1 game I want to play for a while. Forget Destiny 2, forget Anthem, forget everything other than Warframe when this thing comes out, because this is going to be so incredible. I really don't. I'm one of those guys that it's like I'm really careful about hype. I'm really careful about stuff like that. But I've had enough experience playing these past 4 years with Warframe, which Digital Extremes, and I know they're going to do their best to make us happy. And I know that even if there are little problems coming with it and bugs or stuff coming when this comes out, I know they're going to do the best to polish this up and make us happy. So I have no doubts that at some point, you know, in the near future after it's released, this thing is going to be just the way you want it. So I am so excited. There's Open World 1, Open World 2. This is like the kind of header for this look, for the open world look. Look at that Orokin Tower, the openness, the plains. It's fantastic. Like I said, if you haven't seen that video, that long video, that is literally like live. That was a live demonstration. Rebecca was moving that Excalibur around. She joined up with Megan. Megan was moving around as Ember. That was live. It was phenomenal. Not to mention the Arcwing moments and the fishing. You can fish, and the weapons. Oh, guys, there's the Orokin Tower. Orokin Tower. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the little settlement that we got to see, and you guys have probably seen it, but we see this giant Orokin Tower that they're utilizing. They're stripping it of its resources. There's so much to be discovered in this one video and so much to enjoy. And on top of that, the market system. Now, a lot of these shops don't necessarily look like they're specifically for us as Tenno, because this is a place, it's a fire, you know, or a no fire zone, no, guns are all away. Apparently Corpus visit this place. Also, Grenier might even visit this place. I don't know, but apparently this is like a free trade, free market. There are spices, there's food, there's meat, there's fish all over this marketplace. Very RPG, very open world, MMO, incredible. You see these kavats, you see this new bird, you see, I'm sure there's going to be some Kubro stuff. If you can purchase these things or set up shop in these places, you know, because there are other Tenno, there are other, you know, players walking around doing their thing. This is going to be very it's going to have a lot to do with the player base. There's going to be a lot of interaction you can have in this marketplace, including being able to build new weapons, not just like we are now. I'm talking about literally build your own weapons. Check out the video on the weapons portion if you're really interested in that. But I'm talking putting the blade you want on it, putting the handle you want on it, the staff part. If you want to build like a staff or a pole arm or something, like, you get to build these things. Guys, I'm telling you, this is revolutionary for Warframe, and I am so incredibly excited. I hope you guys are too. I hope you learned something. Like I said, feel free, jump back, check out some of the videos, check out, you know, even feel free to go out there, see some of your favorite YouTubers, and give them some love as well, because these guys are fantastic. Like I said, I met them personally. And DE, make sure to throw some support DE's way, because after meeting with the devs and stuff, by going to Tennocon, these guys are phenomenal. These guys truly care about us and what we think, and they feed on our energy, and they may have made this game as good as it is because they care about what we think. And man, I have nothing but good things to say from my experiences. We'll talk about that a little more. I'm doing a vlog, so stay tuned for that. Everything, from my point of view, everything I did pretty much at Tennocon, other than invading people's personal space, because I'm not the kind of guy that's going to throw a camera in someone's face, but got to see some really just incredible stuff. Check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, guys, blow.
They have been building temporary encampments here, excavating for artifacts of the old war. Take them out.